A spot in the NCAA tournament is on the line tonight as we take Champ Week to Honda Center in Anaheim, host of the Big West Championship game between top seed UC Irvine and the UC Davis Aggies, who won a thriller last night to earn their spot in this championship game. There is the bracket. UC Irvine, the top seed, beating Long Beach State by 5 in the semis. UC Davis needed overtime to get past Fullerton, but they're here 1 versus 2 with 1 bid from the Big West expected in the NCAA tournament. Sam Farber alongside former Villanova Wildcat and national champion Mark Blansky. Pleasure and a privilege to be here with you, Mark, for this game. What are your expectations as these two teams meet for the 3rd time this season?
Well, Sam, first of all, thank you for having me this evening. I'm looking forward to a great game. Last week, senior night, back at Irvine, the conference player of the year, senior guard, Mr. Luke Nelson, threw up a season-high 29 points, including 7 for 11, and they won by 30. I don't expect to see that tonight because both these teams, Sam, pride themselves on defense first. Here come the Anteaters, man-to-man.
Anteaters in gold, UC Davis in blue. Darius Graham with the dribble drive, the kick to White. Aggies and the Anteaters, for that matter, both very good defensive teams. 3 on the way, in and out from Graham, and the rebound to UC Irvine.
You're going to be saying that a lot. UC Irvine has an 8 rebound advantage, plus 8 per game. Very hard to get on the offensive glass against the Anteaters.
Irvine 21-13 on the season, 12-4 in conference play. Demakopoulos walks on the low block, banging up against JT Adenrale.
Oh, the big man, the 7-footer from Greece, Demakopoulos, came out last night exactly the same way, except they double-teamed him. This time, Jim Les decides, I'm not going to double-team, I'm going to make you beat me one-on-one, and they get the turnover.
Illegal screen called on Chima Monecki. First personal and first foul of the contest.
Well, there's a guy that cannot afford to get into foul trouble. They love the high ball screen, and he did lean into the defender. There's no reason to do that, Chima. Just stand there, keep your feet planted, and let the ball go by you.
First time Davis is contending for the Big West Conference Tournament title. Last year, one and done in the conference tournament. This time, all the way to the championship game. Looks like an offensive foul to call on Brandon Smith. All 3 officials had their hands up, and everyone was looking at everyone else for who was going to actually make the call.
Excellent job by the senior JT Adenrale taking the charge. That's 2 possessions in a row that he's been able to get an extra possession on the defensive end. But you mentioned that the first 4 minutes for Davis is going to be get the anxieties out, Sam. Get all the emotions out, and let's go play basketball.
White bounce pass to our camera crew.
I mean, this is what it's all about, right? You win, you go to the show. So Irvine has been there before. 2015, they made it. They played Louisville tough to a 2-point loss, and 3 guys on this team are seniors that played on that team. The only one for UC Davis that's been to the tournament, Coach Jim Les, while he was playing for Bradley.
Down low, Galloway can't finish. Rebound Adenrale, and we are scoreless roughly 2 minutes into the game. Lamar, all-conference performer, down low to JT Adenrale. He strips, gets it back, 8 on the shot clock. Monecki fading away.
That's where Monecki does all his damage. That was a very soft touch as well. If he catches the ball uncontested in the paint, that's bad news for Irvine all night long.
Demakopoulos from deep. Well, we're 2.5 minutes in, and combined, these 2 teams are 0 for 6.
Demakopoulos can shoot the 3. He's shooting 38% for Coach Russ Turner from behind the arc. But I'm telling you, JT Adenrale is just ready to play defense tonight. Great closeout on the big guy.
Adenrale on the offensive end. finishing with the left hand, and the scoring is open.
You just have to love seniors in March. Obviously, he's came to play. He's ready. He's got the energy. When you're talking about a young man that's had 2 ACL surgeries, it doesn't look like it so far this evening.
So 2-0 UC Davis. Anteaters have Luke Nelson with the basketball, and he is fouled on his way in towards the paint. Here's a look at head coach Jim Less of UC Davis, 6th season with the Aggies.
Of course, a great point guard for 2 years at Bradley, played with an outstanding off guard by the name of Percy Hawkins. Jim had an outstanding professional career. Came back, coached at his alma mater at Bradley, and they are fortunate to have him at UC Davis. Great coach.
Guided the Aggies to the NIT 2 years ago. UC Davis has never been to the NCAA tournament. Jaron Martin, all-conference performer. Gets it to Galloway, who throws it away. So the Anteaters still scoreless, and head coach Russell Turner talked to us before the game, before the semifinal round, saying his guys wouldn't be nervous. Do they look nervous right now, Mark?
You know, they do, don't they? I mean, he was very confident about his guys. He told me that I expect us to come out, play hard, and play well. They look more nervous than Davis, which is understandable. I mean, this is for all the marbles.
Britton Lamar splits a double team, goes up against Galloway, threw it hard off the glass, and the loose ball goes to Nelson.
It is just so difficult to penetrate that front line of UC Irvine. They're so long. Galloway and Demakopoulos cover a lot of space and block a lot of shots.
We've seen several passes go straight into the first row from both teams. A lot of nerves so far here at Honda Center. UC Davis in the soccer score, leading the Anteaters 2-0. UC Davis early in this Big West Championship game. Yesterday in the semifinals, UC Irvine used defense to propel themselves to the title game thanks to the Defensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Galloway.
Nobody in the Big West Conference plays defense better than the Player of the Year, and you can tell with that length, 5 block shots yesterday did Galloway have. The team had 10 block shots. Career high 5, and what he does really well is he doesn't chase down the ball with speed. He just uses his length and does not foul. He keeps his hands up in the air, and if he doesn't block the shot, Sam, he alters another 5 or 10 throughout the duration of the game.
Substitution for UC Irvine. They brought the freshman Tommy Rutherford onto the floor. Anteaters just have waves of big men to throw at the opposition.
And Rutherford had a great game last night. Very good minutes, very efficient.
Jaron Martin stripped. White in the 2-on-1, gets blown up by Luke Nelson. White hobbled a bit, walking it off.
White, 6'4", 200 pounds, is coming at you downhill. An outstanding athlete. Luke Nelson tries to get in there and strip it, but you can't do that against a halfback running down an open hole.
So Nelson will take a seat. His first foul, team second. Thus far, we've got way more turnovers than points, partner.
The graphic should be named Nerves.
Britton Lamar on the pull-up. He connects.
And that always helps. You can knock down a jump shot. When you're a shooter and a scorer like Lamar, you start sweating and you're into your normal routine.
Max Hazard, the freshman, on the drive, and he's fouled. Yesterday, UC Davis went the first 6 minutes of the game without a field goal. Right now, they're pitching the same shutout against the Anteaters.
Well, it's funny. It's hard to describe. Jim Les played. He played at every level, the highest level. But I remember my freshman year, 1985, we won. My freshman year, I went in to cover Chris Mullen at the Spectrum the first time we played St. John's. as I got off the ground at the scorer's table, Sam, I realized I had cotton mouth. I had no saliva. I ran in, Chris Mellon knocked down a shot. I came out of the game, I'm like, okay, why was I so nervous? I mean, it's just basketball, but you have to go through it. And that's what all 10 of these guys are going through right now. I totally expect once the saliva starts flowing, the game should start flowing.
Offensive foul on big Brad Green, freshman center for UC Irvine. The Anteaters still scoreless 5 minutes in. Manecki. Way off to the left. Not really his game there.
That's exactly right, partner. They love to dump the ball down low, does UC Davis, but usually Manecki's very good at reading the double team, or when he does not have a good low post power move, he gets it back out. That time he was just a little excited, wanted to create the offense, took a bad shot.
Ball was last touched by UC Irvine. Shot clock did not reset, so 13 to work with for UC Davis.
Manecki is Mr. Double-Double. He's averaging 15 points and 16 rebounds here in the Big West tournament.
Manecki with one on the shot clock. One official says foul, the other says shot clock violation. They'll figure it out together. And it is going to be a foul called against Spencer Rivers.
I think they had the right call. The only thing they may want to do is go see if the foul occurred before the shot clock violation. We'll take another look. Again, they do an excellent job getting the ball to Manecki. Boy, that is close, Sam. That is close. Whether it was a foul or not, I think he got him on the arm, but it went from 1 to 0 at the same time.
Doesn't end up hurting the Anteaters. Spencer Rivers clears the glass. Down low to Green, who had it knocked away. It'll stay Anteater possession.
Didn't hurt the Anteaters, but Garrison Good, the sophomore for UC Davis, hurt the backboard down here, that's for sure.
There's the son of LA Clippers head coach, Doc Rivers. Doc, Austin, and the Clippers won earlier today against the 76ers. Speaking of hurting the backboard, Jaron Martin off, and both these teams have been off for the first 6 minutes. 4-0, Davis. Schneider, turnaround, yes.
When you're nervous and you're a shooter, the pull-up jump shot's the worst thing you can do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Get into the paint, get to the rim. Great job by the sophomore Schneider with a little fadeaway 12-footer.
Hazard will get the Anteaters on the board.
Well, the redshirt freshman next, Hazard, doing the exact same thing down here for UC Irvine. Get to the rim, make a layup, and then move outside for your jump shots.
Onyebalu on the drive. Kick it out to the sixth man of the year, Schneider. Hennings over the big man Green.
Yeah, that was some type of floater over the big fella. Excellent split with the high ball screen as well.
8-2 in favor of UC Davis.
Low post guys for both teams not really are going to make your one-on-one moves, but they're going to do exactly this, get the offensive rebound when available.
Brad Green with the putback. He is a perfect 4 for 4 from the field during this tournament.
You look under Webster's dictionary, Sam Farber, space eater. That's Mr. Green. At 320 pounds, tough to get around, and he gets into great position on the offensive glass.
Picks up another board. Here comes UC Irvine. Ball came off Good's foot. Martin wanted a kickball. 2-on-1 the other way for Davis. Schneider fouled and one.
Both coaches going deep to the bench early because of the lack of production. But how about Hennings with a nice little split the double and the floater over Green? And then the junior guard comes back with the assist to Snyder, who did an excellent job filling the lane, and the and one.
Snyder to the line, but great start for Aurel. Hennings did not play yesterday in the semifinal win against Fullerton. It was an overtime contest, didn't get a minute, but big ones early here.
Well, if you're a coach on the sideline and you watch your teams open the way they have tonight, you just have to get everybody in the game. Let everyone get their nerves out at the same time and hope that one of them is going to be not nervous and perform.
Big West Player of the Year, Luke Nelson, has his first bucket. Four-point game, Davis on top. Lamar open for three.
See, that's just not a good shot. I mean, move the ball. He's used to making that in practice, but not against this on-ball defense. Irvine moves their feet, and they play the basketball as well as anybody in the country.
Offensive foul.
Well, our sixth-man Silas Snyder is making himself noticed tonight. Awesome job moving his feet. And then, of course, the Conference Player of the Year recognizes, I've got the seam. I'm going to put us in the game. 10-6 early on.
Traffic to get to Honda Center for this Big West Men's Championship game. Davis leading UC Irvine 10-6. Fans, you can get all the help you need with 24 hours of bracket coverage like you've never seen before. Tune in to ESPN's Tournament Challenge Marathon. The fun starts Monday at 7 on ESPN. Time to fill out your tournament brackets. In the Big West, only one of these teams is going to see their name revealed on Selection Sunday. UC Irvine, the top seed, and that man, Doc Rivers' son, a member of the Anteaters, son Spencer. Mentioned earlier, Doc got a win today, and he gets a chance to see his other son play.
Does not get any better than that. Boy, did Doc Rivers really play. Underrated player. I mean, his coaching now has almost taken over as far as reputation versus as a player. He was outstanding basketball player.
What do you think's more pressure, watching Spencer or coaching Austin?
Watching. Absolutely, without question. Because when you're coaching, you always take him out the game. Sit down.
Spencer makes a nice defensive play. He's out there with the Conference Player of the Year, Luke Nelson.
Well, I guess there has to be one Rivers son in the family that does not look for a shot every time down. Great shot, head's always up, looking for the pass.
That's a turnover to UC Davis. Nelson caught too far behind the arc. Graham, in and out. Traveling on Yasu Worku, the freshman. And the Anteaters make another line change, bringing in two more bigs. Demakopoulos and the Defensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Galloway.
One thing, Sam, is Manecki has not been able to get into the rhythm of this game. He's averaging a double-double here in the tournament. He's all about energy and effort down low, but the superior size of UC Irvine is giving him a hard time in the first 10 minutes of the first half.
Midway mark of this first half, 10-6 UC Davis. A Denverley baseline jumper won't go, rebound to Worku.
And that's not JT's game, but that's exactly what this front line defense of Irvine does. It pushes you outside of your comfort zone as a big.
Demakopoulos, the big Greek with the hook. Rebound to Denverley. Lamar in the lane, gets it back out, 13 on the shot clock.
Just watch these defensive slides, Sam. They are out here with a purpose on the defensive end. I mean, that's probably the fourth or fifth shot that UC Irvine has rebounded without hitting the rim.
Worku blocked by Manecki. And then we have a foul down low on UC Irvine.
Well, in the good news camp, it's only a 4-point game. Neither team, obviously, is playing well. Davis would love to take advantage. Jim Les would love to take advantage of this tough start and get up on Coach Russ Turner's team, because eventually I think Irvine's going to settle down on the offensive end. We've only seen Martin and Nelson do their usual duo in the guard scenario once or twice. And you're talking about guys that are averaging 18, 19 points a game.
Foul on Galloway, the 7th already against UC Irvine, sends Darius Graham to the line. Graham and the Aggies winning a nail-biter yesterday, and ran into Darius's dad after the game outside. Said he had a running conversation with some other relatives talking about the need of defibrillators in the Graham family watching the Aggies here in the tournament.
That was a great finish last night in overtime.
Nelson, short.
Just no ball movement on either side. You can always get that shot. Move the ball, move yourself, get motion, even if it's phantom motion, a weave type motion. Get a high ball screen, then make the defense turn their head and react, and you've got yourself an offensive possession.
Graham pull-up jumper, in and out. Chima Monecki gets the rebound.
Yeah, Monecki, you can't even see him underneath Galloway. Galloway's so long, 6'10". He's got like a 7-foot-plus reach.
Another offensive board for UC Davis. Graham, the drive. Can't finish, and this time the Anteaters come away with it. 3-on-2. Martin.
Jared Martin, we saw that last night. He is always in rhythm, and he loves the transition three. Great job by Luke Nelson finding his partner in rhythm in the transition.
1-point ball game now here in the first half. Pull up from Lamar, won't go. Rebound to Luke Nelson. Senior from Worthing, England, way downtown. And a rebound to Lamar.
He's trying too hard. He's got to let the game come to you. You can always get that.
Lost out of bounds, turnover back to UC Irvine. Luke Nelson not necessarily scoring a lot, but he is doing some of the other things to get the Anteaters back into the game, rebounding and playing some pretty good defense right now.
Well, he missed the first 15 games of the year with a hamstring issue, but you saw right there, he knew he was going to pass Martin the ball coming over half court. Excellent job, under control, slowing it down, drawing the defense for that extra second, Sam, to give Jaron Martin that free look in transition from behind the arc.
UC Irvine, the 1 seed in this tournament. Record of 21-13 overall, 12-4 in Big West action. UC Davis, the 2 seed, they finished 11-5, 21 wins overall, a 10-win turnaround under head coach Jim Les. Picked to finish 5th in the Big West. Not everyone really knew about Chima Monecki when he was on his way to campus, but then finally he arrives, people start to see him, and oh, Davis is a favorite.
Yeah, shocking.
We welcome all the fans who are watching the Southland Championship. Congratulations to the New Orleans Privateers. They're dancing, and we're ready to find out who's going to dance in the Big West. Sam Farber, former Villanova great Mark Plansky, here with you in Anaheim for Irvine and Davis. Here's a look at the bracket. Chalk all the way through, but it was not easy, Mark.
No, not at all. Some great games in the semifinals last night. We haven't quite exploded yet on the offensive side at 10-9, a really good football score. But both of these teams, Sam, lead their offense with their defense. We are now going to see their offense because now we've got the audience. You guys are here. You're going to see the fun part because we've only seen the defensive part the first 11 minutes.
Well, last night, the game-winning play for UC Davis did have some defense connected to it. An offensive board in the end was what put the Aggies on top of Fullerton.
Last shot in overtime, and there he is. Monecki always where he needs to be. 14 rebounds last night, 7 offensive. No more important than the last putback to give them the right to play this evening. to give them a chance to go to the show. It would be the first time ever for UC Davis in the NCAA tournament.
And even though Chima Maneki is not their primary offensive option, he will be the reason the Aggies are able to move on. He has averaged 15 points and 16 rebounds per game in this tournament. Out of the timeout, Anteaters trailing by 1, but with some momentum on their side, Mark.
Oh, absolutely. There's the motion that we were looking for earlier. Get the body moving and the ball moving. There's been a lot of one-pass shots this evening so far in the game, which is why they're both shooting poorly and not a lot of points on the board.
Well, Hennings with the basketball now for Davis. They checked in Mikey Henn, a couple of guys who did not play in yesterday's overtime game. They're in now.
Well, we've seen nerves in this game. This is obviously the biggest game for a lot of these young men's career, and if you have a kid that's not playing well and you're the coach, get somebody else in.
Foul called on Demakopoulos as Hennings was weaving his way in. He'll be at the line to shoot 1-1. There's the Aggies head coach Jim Les, sixth season at UC Davis after a solid run at Bradley, his alma mater.
Yeah, what a great player at Bradley. 1986 graduate point guard. Not a bad backcourt with Jim and Hersey Hawkins at the off guard. I had the misfortune of playing against them. No fun, Sam. Trust me, no fun.
There's the Anteaters head coach, Russell Turner, his 7th season with the Anteaters. He's the Big West Coach of the Year this year.
Well, and of course, Russ had a great college career. He was the big D3, know-it-all, smart big man down low. He was an All-American for 2 years, scored 2,200 points, and he is one of the few coaches in any league that leads his coaching from the bigs out. That's why we're looking at this front line tonight, Sam. We're well-disciplined, well-fundamental, for big guys, and that's how he recruits. He gets guys that can play D, guys that can stretch it out and block shots. 4 players on the Anteaters that are 6'8" or taller, and they all play as true 4s or 5s. Luke Nelson from way downtown. Left it off the front of the iron. Rebound goes to Mikey Henn and the Aggies. Good job by the Aggies boxing out, getting a body on the men on the Anteaters. 1 and done.
UC Davis by 3. Not much offense to speak of early on. Two teams combined shooting below 25% from the field. White with a foot on the three-point arc. And a rebound to Worker.
That's the 5th or 6th one-dribble pull-up jump shot we've seen by UC Davis. You just need to work the ball in and out. And you can always get that jump shot, and it's not going to fall against the Anteaters. They play awesome defense.
Demakopoulos against the double team. Tries to flip it up and hit the side of the backboard. There's 7 freshmen on the Anteaters. None of the Aggies players have ever been in a game like this. Mark, you played in a national championship game as a freshman. How do you get over the nerves when you're in a situation you haven't been in before?
You need a good collision. Once you get hurt, Sam, you stop worrying about, am I playing well? So what I recommend is get to the rim, get to the paint, create some contact, and you'll be fine.
Mikey Henn did not take your advice, but he still made the shot.
It was a nice shot, too. Nice bank.
Down low to the 7-2 Demakopoulos. The freshman Worker wide open. And he still misses.
Interesting, the last 2 possessions, Jim Les decides to double team Demakopoulos in the paint. He did not open the game that way, and it's been successful 2 possessions.
Henn tries again. And the rebound to Demakopoulos.
Henn didn't listen to me either. Jacking up threes is not the way to get rid of your nerves.
Nelson had the right idea of passing down low, but Galloway wasn't looking. Turnover to UC Davis. Champ Week continues Sunday with 2 more championship games on ESPN. We'll have the SEC title game at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then the final automatic tourney ticket will be punched by the winner of the Frontier Communications American Championship game. That one tips off at 3:15, and as always, both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. 10 turnovers from UC Irvine and only 9 points. Anteaters won this game 2 years ago for their first ever trip to the Big Dance. UC Davis in this championship game for the first time in school history. Chima Maneki.
Much better offensive possession for Maneki. Took his time, realized he had a one-on-one. He had time and room to make that nice move, and he has got strong legs, elevates off the floor for a great jump hook.
His first bucket of the game. First one since the overtime winner last night here at Honda Center. Spencer Rivers lays it in.
Some solid minutes for Rivers this evening. Not trying to do anything outside of his comfort zone. The lane was open and finished high off the glass. Well done.
JT Adenlo against the freshman Rutherford. Good defense from the Anteaters.
Great defense, because that was nice footwork by Big JT, and Rutherford got a hand on the ball from behind. Well done.
Worku, strip from behind, Adenlo comes away with it.
You mentioned that's their 11th turnover. A lot of that is the defense. I mean, UC Davis has come out with a purpose on the defensive end.
5-point margin in favor of UC Davis. Second time in a week these two sides meeting in a title game. Last time it was at Irvine, and the Anteaters won by 30. Worku with the steal.
Sam, you got to give them the touchdown low. You just cannot operate along the arc, inside out. You don't have to make a move, but just get them a touch in the paint.
Smith rejected by Manecki, but he got it back. And now the rebound to Darius Graham. Lamar for three.
Well, that's an inside out by mistake, but that's what I'm talking about. Lamar had his feet set, ready to go for that three, and White got closed off in the lane, dished it back out, knocking down the three.
Time out, UC Irvine. The Aggies in their first ever Big West Championship game, looking for a fairy tale finish just down the road from Disneyland.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Fridays. In here, it's always Friday.
Coming up on the Audi halftime report, we had a barn burner in Brooklyn tonight. You're going to want to see those highlights. Also, conference tournament action from around the country and our favorite, bracketology. Make sure you're with us for everything at halftime. Well, slow start in this one. A much slower start yesterday for Chima Manecki. Pulls off the warm-up top, and what's missing?
Look how nonchalant he is. That is assistant coach Kevin Nosek. He's been at Davis for 15 years. He played at UC Davis as a point guard. Did you see him running through the tunnel? I talked to him before the game. He said he was in the ice bath all night long. He was right about his hamstring. Manecki got his shirt, came back, and about 2.5 hours later, got the offensive rebound in overtime for the winning putback.
Yeah, but that's the MVP. I mean, just think of it. What if the jersey's not there? What if it's in the hotel? What do you do?
Well, it's funny. I talked to Kevin before the game, and he said that he just sprinted off. He knew what was going on. I said, did you see it in the locker room hanging up on the hanger? I was like, no. It was nowhere to be found. I had to find his backpack. I took his Spanish book out. It was underneath the Spanish book.
Thank goodness he had the right color in there at least. I mean, we're used to it this week with, jersey issues. Michigan playing in warm-ups for most of the Big Ten tournament.
We had Chima Manecki with us in the interview after that game-winning overtime putback. What a great young man. Just an energetic personality, and he truly enjoys playing the game of basketball, led by his offensive and defensive rebound efforts.
He's got the ball down low. Goes over the top to White. 14 on the shot clock, and White called for the offensive foul.
Well, Lawrence White needs to take a deep breath, Sam. He is just trying way too hard out there. Let the game come to you. He had the three-point shot right there, so instead of taking it, because that's what the defense gave you, forced the drive. Good call, offensive foul.
Anteaters' lowest scoring half this season was 18. That was back in November against Milwaukee. They're going to have to hurry to get anywhere close to that right now.
Sometimes when the last time you played a team, and it was only a week ago, you beat them by 30, you put up 79 points, you come into the game, even though it's the biggest game of the year for the right to go to the big dance, you're a little overconfident. So when it doesn't go well, Sam, you get really nervous and everything tightens up.
Jaron Martin will quarterback the inbound play. Demokopoulos working down low, and a blocking foul called on JT Adenrele. His second personal 15 foul.
And take a look at Adenrele's body there. 6'7", 245 pounds. It's like a defensive tackle covering the big man underneath. Usually does an awesome job, and Jim Les has to really keep him on a yo-yo because of his 2 ACL surgeries. He can only play about 20 minutes a game.
Luke Nelson. Rebound Rutherford, and one.
Well, Adenrele goes to the bench, and Rutherford takes advantage of it, staying active on the offensive glass, beats Monecki for the and one.
Talked to Luke Nelson during shoot-around about the anteater freshman, and he specifically said Tommy Rutherford just has a motor, unselfish. He's out there trying to do everything he can to help the team win, even though not a lot is drawn up for him.
He's averaging 6 points a game in the Big West tournament. Very efficient, 5 for 7. Just an absolute solid contributor, and you're dead on. So he never does not go 110%.
Loose ball. Finds its way to White. Into the corner, Lamar. Back to White, 4-3.
Much better job by UC Davis, and in particular by White. That time, he let the defense dictate the open 3, went up with confidence and stroked it down.
8-point game again in favor of the Aggies. Smith. To Martin. 5 on the shot clock.
Excellent switch out there in the perimeter defense.
Foul will go on Mikey Henn.
Lawrence White down the other end just had his feet set. Look at that jump behind the ball. Sam, when the ball comes to you, you make threes by moving your feet before it gets to you. That was an excellent job, because then you just catch, rise up, and shoot like you're any day in practice.
Lawrence White fouled out yesterday in the contest with Cal State Fullerton. Senior from Burbank, California, back in his home area. Demokopoulos, 1-1. Gets the hometown roll. Champ Week continues Sunday with 2 more championship games on ESPN2. We'll have the first ever Ivy League Tournament championship game from the Palestra at noon Eastern. Mark Polanski knows something about that building. Then the Sun Belt title game at 2. Both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. You ever play at the Palestra?
You know, the absolute saddest thing that ever happened in college basketball is they eliminated throwing the streamers after the first made basket. That was the best thing. You wanted to score the first basket.
On that last free throw, Garrison Good got tangled up with Tommy Rutherford. Ended up underneath the big freshman for UC Irvine, and fortunately he's able to walk it off.
Well, Good's hobbled around this year. He's had some nagging injuries. Let's take a look from above. Great view. Oh, that's like a offensive lineman getting chop blocked. I mean, completely unintentional. Rutherford got pushed down low, but he's very fortunate there wasn't more damage done.
They'll sub him out. Both free throws went down for Demokopoulos, so 6-point game, and Davis can hold for the last shot of the half if they get it in. And White tried to take it in on his own.
What a great job by Coach Russell Turner, switching up, extending the defense full court. UC Davis was not ready for that. Awesome defensive move by Coach Turner.
Officials going to the scorer's table. I believe it's got something to do with the substitution for Good, because no time came off. They can't sub him back in.
You are all over it, partner. Well done.
So he is relegated to the bench.
The violation occurred before the ball was put in play, so no time elapsed. No substitution.
Martin loses it to Lamar. Uncontested to the 10. 1 second left. Martin just heaves it. And UC Davis has an excellent defensive and overall first half of this title game. They lead by 8, headed to the locker room.
Oh, great job by both Britton Lamar and Lawrence White at the last 3 or 4 minutes, playing under control and taking what the defense gives them to take an 8-point lead into the locker room.
Aggies 24, Anteaters 16. After the break, we will join Chris Cotter, Kara Lawson, and Dan Dockich for the Audi halftime report. Disneyland, we're at the Honda Center for the Big West Men's Championship game. UC Davis leading UC Irvine 24-16. Both teams' offenses had their offense basically lost in line for Space Mountain, apparently. But this is what's at stake. UC Irvine trying to go to the Big Dance for the second time in 3 years. For the Aggies, it will be their first time in March Madness in school history. Sam Farber, Mark Plansky here with you courtside at Honda Center. And Mark, UC Irvine, 2 very talented all-conference guards in Jaron Martin and Luke Nelson. They've been averaging 35 points per game throughout the tournament. They've got 5 right now.
Yeah, they average 40% of their team's offense. And what's going on here is they're taking quick shots. You know, credit the UC Davis defense in the first half because they really knew that they're the top of the scouting report, but they need to just take it easy. Make a couple of passes inside and out.
UC Davis has an all-conference guard who has outscored that UCI duo all by himself, Britton Lamar.
Well, he's averaging 20.5 points in this Big West tournament as well. And well, you just saw a couple of in-rhythm jump shots, and then defense leads to the easy transition layup on the offense.
UC Irvine in the first 20 minutes of basketball, 6 made buckets, 13 turnovers, only 1 assist. You might think there might be some extra coach talk. Not so. Coach Turner had the Anteaters out early for this second half. 5 minutes left on the clock. They were warming up shooting.
Not much to say, Sam. To get them in, to get everyone back together and say, now why don't you guys go out and play basketball the way you've played all year long. Get your sweats on, get out there and make some shots.
Right away, a turnover. Chima Maneki fouled on the open floor. And not the start the Anteaters were looking for. UCI in gold. Dimakopoulos picking up the foul. It is his second personal.
Coach Russ Turner, not the start he was looking for either, Sam. I mean, he's like, hey, we've been here before. 2015, we got to the dance. We won this Big West tournament. Why are you guys playing all nervous? Come on, forget about it. It's not that important.
Chima Maneki, the hero from yesterday, loses the handle, and second half starting a lot like the first one did. Turnovers on either end.
Souvenirs into the stands. You know, a couple of fifth-row participants.
Speaking of the stands, even though this is a neutral site, it might sound a bit louder for UC Irvine. Anteaters campus is 15 miles away from the Honda Center. UC Davis, 437 miles. So just due to traffic patterns, Anteaters better represented in the crowd.
Yeah, well, UC Irvine might be 15 miles, but it's an hour and a half easy in traffic.
You've learned while you've been here, haven't you, Mike?
I love it out here in Southern California. I do not know what you're talking about, Samuel.
The weather's great. Just put the top down on the convertible, and that's what you rent.
Absolutely. Get the sunscreen and relax.
Bucket for Brandon Smith, and the Anteaters have cut the deficit to 6.
That is when UC Davis's offense works well. The bigs come up to the high ball screen from the block, and then they move. They cut.
Graham mishandling that pass. Now Smith again. Can't get the roll, but he'll be at the free throw line to shoot 2. Smith getting aggressive going to the iron.
Well, talking to the UC Irvine coaching staff, they were raving about his athleticism and how he can get to the rim better than anybody on the team. And you could see that head's up by the iron. Oof, that's impressive.
JT Adenrele got the foul. It's his third, so he's going to sit down. Smith, a 57% free throw shooter, gets the first.
You know, Sam, you mentioned Coach Russ Turner probably had a shorter than expected halftime talk. reminded me of 1985. Coach Massimino's favorite halftime talk was, "Why are you guys playing so tight? I don't even care about this game, the elite game, to go to the Final Four. I just want a big bowl of macaroni with lots of cheese." We came out and won by 12.
It's one way to make a memory.
I'm not sure if he was talking about macaroni and cheese in the locker room, but perhaps.
Luke Nelson with the rebound. Conference Player of the Year, trying to lead UC Irvine back to the dance for the second time in his career. Smith, nice pass to Galloway. And he went too strong looking for contact.
Smith really's come out of that locker room fired up.
Galloway makes up for it on the other end. Here's Nelson. One possession game. Timeout, Davis.
Well, that's more like it. That's what the fans of UC Irvine have seen all year long from their team. The sophomore Jonathan Galloway just missed that easy, uncontested layup. So what's he do? He runs it down from behind and says, "Give me that!" And then, of course, Luke Nelson in control with the high finish off the glass at the other end.
Senior from England has the Anteaters within a possession. UC Irvine on a 5-0 run to start the second half. It's a one-possession game with one spot in the big dance available here tonight in the Big West Conference. Let's take a look at our tournament challenge resume brought to you by Acura USC. Yesterday they were in. Today Joe Lenardi says you're out.
Joey Brackets is getting really confident. Now he's got USC out. He only has 2 on the first outline now. He usually has 4. He knows what he's talking about, Sam.
Only USC and Illinois State apparently with the shot at that last spot. Rhode Island a big win today in the Atlantic 10 tournament. Make sure you're going to ESPN.com/brackets. All the latest from the hardest working bracketologist we've ever seen, Joe Lenardi. The N1 from Chima Manecki, the hardest working man at Honda Center all weekend long.
You beat me to it. Nobody works harder than Manecki. Take a look at it. A good dish. Did not have the open layup, and Manecki, right place, right time, presenting an open lane, and then using that strong body to elevate and finish.
Junior from Canberra, Australia, really an unknown coming out of Northeast Community College. He is known now.
Oh, he's had an outstanding tournament. As we mentioned, double-double, average 15 points and 16 rebounds this weekend.
Converts the old-fashioned three-point play. And it's a 6-point margin in favor of UC Davis. Post up, Demakopoulos. And a rebound to Manecki.
Well, really, Jim Les for UC Davis has done an outstanding job switching up the game plan on the post-up of Demakopoulos as Manecki dribbles it off his shin. You know, a little bit of Aussie rules football play right there, Sam, instead of basketball. But Demakopoulos has been a key because he's a tough matchup. You know, the big guy for Irvine, if you double team him, he's got great court awareness. If you let him play one-on-one, he's 7 feet tall and can score.
We'll set the screen for Jaron Martin. Nelson on the drive. All the way to the iron.
Just a different player in the second half, Sam, under control. Excellent ball fake, jab step, and then just hit the seam and finish strong.
Nelson has 6 points, 6 rebounds. Anteaters still trailing by 4.
And he is one of the most underrated defenders in this conference. He loves to play on the ball D.
7 on the shot clock for Lamar. Give to Manecki. He's stuck in the air. Lamar, jumper for 15. Won't go.
Good possession, Sam, to go under 16. Get this right back to possibly a tie game.
Traveling. #15th turnover for UC Irvine. When they don't turn it over, Luke Nelson can make things happen.
Yeah, Coach Russ Turner's going to want to see a lot more of Luke Nelson in the second half. He can shoot it, but he can drive it. Down 4 with plenty of time.
Second half, and I'm trying to make a comeback. About to make history, how we done that?
On the way, he rolled off the 1 seed. Oh my goodness.
What a week it's been, and 1 day still left to go until Selection Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bracketology, presented by Allstate with a host of our college hoop experts. Sports Center, of course, with Scott Van Pelt, starts us off at 5:15 on ESPN with the reveal of the NCAA Men's Field of 68 as the teams are announced. Both are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. And one of these two sides, Mark Plansky, will see their name on that bracket. For UC Davis, it will be the first time ever.
There is no better feeling than seeing your name come down on that slide. And for Jim Leslie and the Aggies, what an accomplishment that would represent.
Chima Monecki, the offensive rebound, and an extra 30-second shot clock for UC Davis. Tie up down low, there's the whistle, and the arrow favors the Aggies. Siler Schneider, 6th man of the year in the Big West. He has struggled, though, in this building. He is shooting just 15% from the field, 0 for 7 from 3, and he was one of the top three-point shooters in the conference everywhere else.
It's kind of like watching a pitcher's duel. You know, if you want to watch a lot of offense in baseball, you don't want to watch 1-0 and 30 combined strikeouts. That's what's happening this evening. These two teams pride themselves on defense, and all these turnovers and all these balls on the floor being thrown away is in great part because of the effort being put forth on the defensive end. That was a baseball analogy to you, because we're in California, so I wanted to make sure you understood that.
It's baseball season all year round here. UC Irvine got a big win against TCU, we heard, in college baseball. There's a putback for Rutherford. And we've got a 2-point game.
Great block by the Aggies, but Rutherford never giving up with the follow-up putback.
Schneider. Fouled by UC Irvine big man Brad Green.
Well, the coaches all teach the principle of verticality, which has been the emphasis, and Russ Turner says, hey, if a guy's driving and you're by that restricted arc, jump up in the air, put your hands up. The young freshman at 6'10", 320 has a harder time than most jumping up in the air with your hands up. He will get there. He will get there, sheds a few pounds, and he is a great player, but that's a good job drawing the foul.
Schneider at the line, missed the first. 71% free throw shooter on the season, sophomore from Lansing, Kansas.
You mentioned how he's yet to hit a 3 here this weekend, and that's all he does. That's the Scudderman report. He is a tough kid. He is filled with moxie. I would not be surprised to see his first 3 this weekend be the one that counts for the game winner.
Early prediction from Mark Plansky. We're filed away. Jaron Martin in and out. Rebound for Monecki.
Well, he was the guy. Schneider was the guy that took the shot last night at the end of the overtime. Coggins from Cal State Fulton did a great job getting a piece of it, and that led to Monecki's putback.
Monecki stripped by Nelson, out of bounds. And the two officials looking at one another. They don't know. They'll give it to UC Irvine.
It's a good example of Monecki catching the ball without a plan. He just put the ball down the ground. It's the last thing you want to do. Catch the ball, get on balance, and eyes and ball go to the rim. Let the defense react to that, and then you take what they give you.
National champion at Villanova, Mark Plansky, alongside me, Sam Farber. Glad to have you with us at Honda Center. The Big West title game. These two teams, the rubber match. After splitting during the regular season, and pretty interesting how those two games went down. At UC Davis, the Aggies were able to win, but that was a game Luke Nelson didn't play in. Just a week ago, they played in Irvine. UCI won by 30, but that was a game Chima Monecki didn't score in.
Yeah, crazy. Luke Nelson missed the first 15 games with a hamstring. big man, Mr. Green, could not convert. And then he had to sit out the first game against UC Davis because he tweaked his hamstring. And here he is, healthy and ready to go.
Davis is led by as many as 8. It's down to 1. Schneider missed again. Rebound Rutherford.
And Tommy Rutherford doing an excellent job on both ends, quietly and efficiently getting the job done.
Conference Player of the Year, Nelson wants it.
A little travel there.
Smith for the lead. Rebound Schneider. Good defense by Green that time. Rebound to UC Irvine.
Much better defense. Hands up. You're not going to get called for the foul. Excellent job, big man.
Martin. Nice pass for Rutherford. First lead of the game for UC Irvine. That'll throw water on that.
Well, the freshman Tommy Rutherford got all excited after watching Jared Martin take it down the lane. What a crossover. Head is up, and look at the young freshman again in the right place, right time with the finish. I mean, look at his head up. A great job with the cup. Young guys, when you get down the lane, cup that basketball so nobody can get a hand on the leather, and then the easy dish for the layup.
For good reason. People out west talk a lot about the freshman class at UCLA, but when you're looking at mid-majors, you're going to have a hard time finding a better freshman class than that man Russ Turner has put together here at UC Irvine.
Oh, no doubt about it. He keeps recruiting the same type of guys. 1 and 2 scoring gems in the backcourt, like he has with Martin and Nelson, and then length and size up front. It's really worked well.
2 misses at the 10 for UC Davis, and then Galloway fumbles the rebound out of bounds. Substitution for the Aggies, Darius Graham will check back in. He'll replace Siler Schneider.
Well, now both teams have really settled down, Sam, and it's been led by getting to the rim. No more jump shots, one pass, no pass jump shots. Get to the rim, create an extra pass opportunity, or the finish.
12 minutes left in this title game. Graham out to Lamar. Lamar, the floater. Gets it on rebound.
Good decision. Much better patience.
And a turnover. Anteaters have outscored UC Davis 13-4 this half. Luke Nelson coming alive after a slow first half.
Coming alive. He just likes to play in the second part of the game. Luke Nelson loves to play defense, jumps in the passing lane. In his backcourt, mate Jared Martin, the drive in the dish. Here come the Anteaters, up 1.
Irvine on top, 29-28 in the first half. Conference Player of the Year, Luke Nelson, was 1 for 6 from the field, attempting a lot of threes. Second half, he's taking it to the iron, and it is working for the Anteaters.
When the jump shot's not going, get to the rim. Luke Nelson finding the rim, and then he's an elite on-the-ball defender. Jumps the passing lane, gets a transition layup. Now he's in rhythm. Now you can go back and take the transition 3, the inside-out 3. And you look at him, he's just getting going. I remember a week ago, he was 7 for 11 from behind the arc and a season-high 29 points. So he's comfortable scoring everywhere, Sam, not just from behind the stripe.
Talking to him at shoot-around, he was thinking back on his time growing up in England, being discovered by an assistant coach for UC Irvine, and never really imagining that he'd lead the Anteaters to maybe 2 NCAA tournaments. But he is so proud of the legacy that he hopes to leave a couple weeks from now with the Anteaters.
Just a great kid. Coach Russ Turner, when asked before the tournament started, did you ever think about not playing him, redshirting him? He said, no way, this kid could play in any team in the country. He'd never play for me again.
His 15 games with hamstring issue. Brenton Lamar scores the bucket and puts UC Davis back on top. He's the game's leading scorer with 9. Spencer Rivers, Doc Rivers' son, dad in attendance, has it for UCI. Player of the year, Hoyce. And the rebound to good.
He loves to take that off-the-dribble jump shot. That time it was an in-between fade and a step back, so he ended up fading back and came up short.
Foul called on UC Davis. There's Doc Rivers, head coach of the Clippers, here to watch his son Spencer.
I would say that's a concern. Look, what do you think, Sam?
I asked you before, you said between coaching Austin and watching Spencer, you think watching is the more difficult situation.
Oh, without question, especially a coach like Doc Rivers, who always prides himself in controlling the game from the sidelines. You have no control when you sit behind us and you're eating popcorn and drinking your Diet Coke. You're just hoping for the best.
His son's team down 1. Down low, Rutherford for the slam!
Well, Luke Nelson showing he can drop a dime as well. Great court vision to the freshman, Tommy Rutherford.
Now they're battling for the rebound. And it was last touched by UC Irvine.
I mean, look at that, a touch pass from 30 feet away, and Rutherford knew that you cannot go up soft against this UC Davis interior defense and flushes it down.
Rutherford leads UC Irvine with 9. The Anteaters lead the game by 1. Schneider in the lane, the floater goes.
Good read by Schneider. He had a good pick and roll with JT, and the defender never really left the big man, so the floater was open and he converted.
Back and forth we go. Davis back on top. Offensive foul.
It's a credit to both teams, Sam. It really is. I mean, it's a win-ugly type of game. But there's Hennings, the junior guard, who does not play a ton of minutes. Look at him move his feet. Hands up. Watch his feet, guys. There it is. I mean, he is excellent in the position to draw the foul. You know who used to do that better than anyone? Dennis Rodman. Remember how many offensive charges he took by moving his feet and then leaning back? That was exactly what Hennings just did. Outstanding job.
A line change for UC Irvine. They bring back Demakopoulos. Big Greek in the middle defending JT Adenrele right now. Maneki triple team. Ball comes loose, and it's off Irvine.
It is awfully difficult when you get inside that UC Irvine interior, and Jim Les knows it, to make that interior slip pass, because you've got Galloway and Demakopoulos who get their hands on a lot of balls down low and up high around the rim.
Schneider's got a hoist. Stripped, and that's a shot clock violation. Good defense for Coach Turner's Anteaters. This is the best defensive team in the Big West. Field goal percentage, they're top 10 in the nation.
I saw a quick look at Luke Nelson. The defensive effort is what generates his offensive output, and he is in the rhythm right now.
For 3.
You read the script. Right on cue.
That was from NBA range. Anteaters by 2. First 3 of the game for Luke. White for the answer. Yes.
Here we go. Gunslinging. minutes left to go. Sam, I want to go to the dance. Lawrence White saying I can do that as well as Luke Nelson.
Nelson challenging Manecki. Blocked by Dennerley. Galloway misses the follow.
The second time Galloway has been in the right place, right time, just very excited to finish.
Hennings for three. And a rebound to Galloway. Nelson through the double team. Slips it to Dimitropoulos. The Greek Tower with the slam.
The Greek Tower with the pass from Luke Nelson, who has just taken this game over. Now Russ Turner goes to a 2-3 zone, switching from man to man, looking to confuse the Aggies.
Manecki fouled on the pass, but it'll go against Luke Nelson. That is the 7th team foul on UC Irvine early again into the bonus for UC Davis.
Nothing but offense. I don't know what the whole first half was all about. Luke Nelson in rhythm after a couple of drives, knocking down the deep three, and Lawrence White says, wait a second, I can do that just as well with a smooth lefty stroke. Well, if you can knock down a three and you're the conference player of the year, and then Luke Nelson says, I'm going to take you off the dribble, split the trap, and my head's always up to the big Greek, not freak, but tree.
Honda Center, home of the Anaheim Ducks in the NHL, host of this year's Big West Men's Tournament Championship game. UC Irvine leading UC Davis by 1 thanks to a bit more team offense for the Anteaters in the second half.
UC Irvine only had 1 assist in the first half, and now we're going to get a look at what real team basketball is all about. Rutherford being the recipient, but Luke Nelson and Jared Martin have gotten into the gaps, into the seams. Their head has been up, and they're finding the open men. And Luke Nelson is just taking over here in the second half.
He is leading UC Irvine in points, rebounds, and assists. And as you can see, most of the damage being done since that struggle of a first half where the Anteaters were held to a season-low 16 points.
Well, Irvine shooting much better in the second half from the floor at 45%, but a big part of that is 10 points in the paint, all layups off of these assists. They've got 5 assists in the second half. They have all been layups. That's how you win ball games.
Chima Manecki at the line shooting 1 and 1, and he missed the front end, and JT Adenrale commits a foul on the rebound. That's his 4th.
That hurts. Adenrale needs to be on the court with that big athletic body to combat against the front line of UC Irvine. A little overzealous. Let that one go, Sam, because you can always get another possession. You can't get that foul back.
UC Irvine leading by 1. Luke Nelson with the basketball again.
See, in the first half, he would have pulled up for that jump shot. Much better discipline in the second half.
Dimitropoulos extending the olive branch.
Partner, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but that is the result of another assist and another in-the-paint basket. Well done by UC Irvine.
Lamar crashes into Dimitropoulos, out of bounds, off the big Greek.
Well, he's got great hands down low, no double team, so he takes the extra dribble, and he can convert that little jump hook right and left-handed. And that makes him very dangerous.
Lamar for 3. And a rebound to Luke Nelson.
Jim West did not want that. One dribble shot in the corner, you can tell that physical body language means we better get a stop here or I'm going to have to take a timeout and calm down the troops.
Rutherford gets the putback. Largest lead of the game for Irvine. It's 40-35.
How about young Tommy Rutherford? What a game, and the biggest game of his career.
Shot clock reset, and the officials did not think it was supposed to.
Well, Tommy Rutherford, you know, when you're in the right place at the right time, it's high basketball IQ and ultimate effort. And all evening long, the freshman has been working his tail off. And because of it, he has really contributed for Coach Russell Turner.
He's got 11. His career high is 12. Guess who that was against?
UC Davis.
You got it.
We got one guess, too. No lifeline necessary.
Chima Maneki, nice job on the half hook shot. Takes it back to a three-point game.
And there's a name we have not mentioned at all this evening. Maneki had 22 points in the second half, the first time these guys met at UC Davis. You mentioned held almost scoreless the second time. He needs to touch the basketball.
Foul called on White. Just the third team foul against UC Davis. Tyler Schneider sub back in for Coach Jim Les, who will replace Hennings.
All coaches would tell you, Sam, that the first 4 minutes and the last 4 minutes are the most important time blocks, and Jim Les knows that in a ball game. We're coming with 5 minutes left to go. We're coming into that crucial 4-minute period. It's a one-possession game. Everything on the table to go to the dance. You just have to stick to the game plan. Play disciplined, move the ball on offense, move your feet on defense.
Dimitropoulos against the double team. Finds Smith, who is stripped, and Maneki comes away with it.
Nice job by Lawrence White, coming back first with the ball, so there was no turnover and almost drew that acting foul.
Turned it over anyways. 16th by UC Davis.
You know, that ball is gold, Sam. You have to protect it, especially as time winds down in the second half of a tournament final.
That's 9 turnovers in the second half for the Aggies. 10 on the shot clock. Nelson to Dimitropoulos, who's fouling. All Big West second team selection. Nelson and Martin, for good reason, get a lot of the attention for the senior class, but both the guards talk so much about Dimitropoulos and what he has meant to their class and the program as a whole.
Well, remember, he came here with that senior class, today's senior class. They went to the tournament in 2015, and he played behind a pretty big guy here that UC Irvine knows all about, big Mamadou Ndiaye. So when he showed up from Greece, he thought he was going to play, but he's playing behind a guy bigger and better. Now he gets his time to shine on the floor when the lights are brightest.
He's got 8 points, and he's got Irvine up by 5, matching their largest lead of the game. Lamar in the lane. Got it by Galloway somehow.
What a take. Got over a couple of anteaters right to the rim.
First Aggie into double figures. He has 11. Back to a one-possession game. Conference Player of the Year, Luke Nelson. And Galloway hit with an offensive foul.
What a big, gutsy call, take, charge by a Hemorrhay. Look at this. Feet almost stationary. Draws the charge. And they're down 3. One possession.
Champ Week continues with more championship games on ESPN. We'll have the SEC title game 1 p.m. Eastern. Then the final automatic tournament ticket will be punched by the winner of the Frontier Communications American Championship game. That one tips off 3:15 on Selection Sunday. And as always, both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Here in Orange County, UC Irvine leading UC Davis 42-39, and their freshman Tommy Rutherford, a huge second half.
Well, the Anteaters have found a third contributor up front. Tommy Rutherford probably his biggest game in his career, and without question, his best. I mean, he is being more than efficient. 5 for 6 from the floor, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 20 minutes, and just enjoying himself out there. Just working hard, doing what Coach Turner asked him to do every day in practice all year long, and here it is with a chance with 3.5 minutes to go to see his name on Selection Show Sunday.
Sam Farber with former Villanova Wildcat Mark Plansky. Under 4 minutes to go, Mark. And what's been a very hard-fought, low-scoring game. One ticket to the dance available. Who do you look for on either side to take over the last 3 minutes, 20 seconds?
Well, it's been hard fought on the defensive end without question. And at the end of the game, I think we are looking at, and Jim Les is probably suspecting, a last possession type of game. Britton Lamar is going to be your go-to guy with Benecki for the Aggies. And I would have to say, if we're close to one possession game and Luke Nelson has the ball tied or up, I think UC Irvine comes out of here with a victory.
First free throw missed by Lamar. That's only his second miss of the tournament from the free throw line. It was 12 for 13 coming into tonight.
And I don't mean they're going to win. I mean, UC Irvine has a very good chance of coming out of here with a victory. Second half has been outstanding. The first half was just 17 minutes of the 20-minute stanza of nerves and anxiety. Now we've got ourselves a good basketball game.
And we got a one-possession game. UC Irvine leading by 2.
Stick with the plan. Luke Nelson runs off a series of screens, dump it down low, move the ball.
Denrelay defending with 4 fouls. Demakopoulos fades away. And rebound to Chima Monecki.
And everything except move the ball, and Coach Turner not happy with that fadeaway by the big man.
Monecki drives. Blocked by Demakopoulos. Gets it back, and a foul.
Chima Monecki is not going to shy away from the big moment. May have got away with a little shuffle underneath, but it was disguised because the Anteaters had him surrounded as we take a look. Good job by Demakopoulos, and Rutherford got a piece of the first one, stays right with it, and then Tommy Rutherford does come down and whacks him on the arm. You can see it with the left arm there. Chima just, he just never stops moving. He's the ever-ready bunny.
Undersized for a big, but no one's got more hustle and heart in this conference all year long than Chima Monecki.
And he is just a 64% free throw shooter, so that's a big one, Sam, because if you knock down the first, the second one is much easier to attempt.
It is to tie up this Big West title game. Sinks it 42 apiece. Traveling.
Well, credit Darius Grant for UC Davis. He just never left Luke Nelson, just crawled up inside that shirt, and that created the turnover because Smith had the ball and is not used to facilitating.
That's the 19th turnover tonight for UC Irvine, and if this team does have a fault, it's the turnovers, or more specifically turnover margin. They were last in the conference in that category, really the only one they were.
Well, a lot of that happens because the big guys are sometimes not used to handling the ball. What a drive! Britton Lamar getting it done.
Game's leading score with 14, and the Aggies are back on top. Nelson from the other side of the pond. Rebound Monecki.
From the logo. That was deep, but again, you've got to credit Graham. He's just pushing him all over the place.
A minute 40 to go in the Big West Championship game. UC Davis, the basketball, a 7-0 run and a 2-point lead. Lamar headed back to the line.
Lamar is just taking over, the senior guard, getting to the rim. Two excellent examples of what to do in a tight game. Get to the rim, don't settle. That was just an excellent finish over Rutherford. And the second time he attacks him and then avoids him and makes Rutherford reach back for that layup. I mean, that was outstanding. Now he's at the line. Where he's a 77% shooter, and you just take a look at how smooth and confident that stroke is. I mean, we're a minute and a half away to get an NCAA bid. You never know it's staring at this young man.
For a school that's never been there before. Lamar averaging 20 per game in this tournament. He has 16 tonight. UC Davis stretches the lead to 4.
Excellent UC Davis philosophy. Get the ball out of Luke Nelson's hands.
Spencer Rivers. Charge.
JT then relay the second time with 4 fouls on him. Either one of these could have been his game-ending fifth. Managed to step in and take the charge. Even Doc Rivers can't argue with that one, Sam. Excellent defensive slide, feet set. Rivers a little out of control, going the other way.
Seven offensive fouls by the Anteaters, but here they had a steal, lost it to Brenton Lamar. 1 minute to go, and a timeout by UC Davis. Aggies leading by 4, trying to get somewhere they have never been before. A spot in the dance on the line here at Honda Center. We continue Sunday with 2 more championship games on ESPN2. We'll have the first ever Ivy League tournament championship game from the Palestra at noon Eastern, and the Sun Belt title game at 2. Both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Well, down at Disneyland, you can see an elephant fly. Here at the Honda Center, they're hoping the Anteater will dance, but UC Irvine is trailing by 4 with a minute to go, Mark Plansky.
I continue to say the best mascot in college basketball, period, understatement, the Anteater.
Coach Russ Turner's team in a tough spot. They won a week ago against UC Davis by 30. Talking to Luke Nelson at shoot-around, asked him, do you make any adjustments? Are you afraid to make any adjustments? He said, we're always tinkering, always trying to get better, but this is a completely different Davis team from 1 week ago today.
That was an excellent timeout by Jim Les, seeking his first NCAA tournament bid. So he just drew up the play, and now the question is, does Coach Russ Turner play the same defense, man-to-man, or does he come out with something different? It appears he's going to stick with that man-to-man D.
4-point game. Brenton Lamar had it poked away from behind. It'll stay with the Aggies.
And those are the 2 guys this evening in the second half, especially Nelson and Lamar, who have put on a show going at mano-a-mano.
Looks like the officials are headed to the monitor.
Take another look at it. Luke Nelson doing an excellent, Olé! That's a clean Matador defensive attempt. All D, so it's off of Nelson there. Let's get a better look at it. Yeah, that has to be UC Davis basketball, Sam.
Officials just building the suspense.
Hey, they want some airtime. Come on, it's national TV, Sam. They're no dummies.
53 seconds left in this title contest. 13 on the shot clock, and Graham to quarterback the play.
Monecki and Lamar.
I'm gonna whistle Luke Nelson for a foul. It's double bonus for UC Davis. That's 4 fouls also on Luke Nelson.
Let's take a look. Coming in for the trap. Wow, some contact without question. I'm not sure from that angle if Manecki actually got struck with force or he was just falling back after the pass. Either way, that is a terrible foul. Meaning, don't even give the referee a chance to make that call. Keep your arms straight up. Manecki, as we mentioned, only a 66% foul shooter. But Luke Nelson got away with one there with the miss.
Spencer Rivers is checked back in for UC Irvine along with Giannis Dimakopoulos. Manecki missed the most.
Like I said, great foul by Luke Nelson.
Conference Player of the Year. Gives to Dimakopoulos. Gets the friendly roll. Timeout Irvine.
2 of those 3 seniors getting it done when it counts. 40 seconds left to go. Everyone, including me, thought Luke Nelson was going to pull up. Dimakopoulos in the right place on the roll. Down 2. Come on back.
UC Davis 40 seconds away from their first ever trip to March Madness. But it is a tight contest. UC Irvine just getting a bucket from senior Giannis Dimakopoulos to make it a 2-point game.
Now you can see the sophomore Jonathan Galloway on the ball with that great length.
Roughly a 10-second game clock, shot clock differential. And Irvine's going to sit back and try and get a stop.
And Coach Russ Turner looking for a deflection or a quick trap. Did not get it, so now he has decided to play the possession.
Nelson and Lamar jawing back and forth as Lamar walks it up with 8 on the shot clock. Lamar to the rim, blocked! Goaltending. Anteaters asking for a review.
Brenton Lamar just exploding down the gap. Throws by 2 Anteaters, lays it up, and it's off the glass. Good call, goaltending on Brandon Smith. Another look at it. How about just ripping by both guys? They were jarring out front, and he just told Luke Nelson, see ya! It's game time!
4-point game now. Anteaters have to score in a hurry. Nelson fouled by Graham, and that is only the 5th team foul against UC Davis, so no free throws for the Anteaters, and they can foul again without giving up any free throws.
That's why I hated playing against Jim Lesser Bradley back in my day. He was one of the smartest point guards out there, and that continues as a coach. Fouls to give, use the clock down to 9.8 seconds, and he has 1 more foul to give, making it really hard for UC Irvine to even get up a shot to try to make this a 1-possession ball game.
One thing to keep in mind, UC Davis as a team, only 66% from the free throw line. And today they've been a little bit worse than that, 9 of 16. So if the Anteaters can score in a hurry, UC Davis going to have to hit some clutch free throws.
Well, here it is. Both senior guards know exactly what's on the table, and they're communicating. Okay, I'm waiting. Try to stop it. Here we go. I'm going left, and maybe I'll just go inside out right. See ya!
Two seniors in their final head-to-head matchup talking on that final possession. That's just special.
Doesn't get any better. With a chance to go to the big dance. I mean, you talk about wanting the basketball. Outstanding stuff.
So 9.8 seconds left. The arrow favors UC Irvine if there's a tie-up, but UC Davis has fouls to give, so you have to be careful. You don't want to commit the sin of fouling someone flailing at the rim and give them 3 free throws, but you can burn some time.
Try to get the ball into the hands of the guards, Nelson or Martin, and as soon as you catch it, Sam, to your point, attack and look to shoot, look to score, because if someone's going to come up because they've been told to foul, you do have a chance of maybe getting an and one with 10 seconds left to go in the game.
We got a clock malfunction for a moment. Now they've got 9.8 up on the clock on the UC Irvine side. Trust us, it had some different colored lights on a second ago.
Well, I did predict one possession game, so we need a bucket here, Sam. We need a bucket.
Nelson for three. Oh!
Excellent double screen play drawn up by Russ Turner, and how about that? Luke Nelson says, okay, Lamar, you beat me last time down. Check this out. Look at the feet work. He got his feet under him, a quick release, and knocks it down.
Just his second three of the night, and it makes it a 1-point game. 7.3 seconds left, and again, I'll go back to it. UC Davis has struggled from the free throw line tonight and throughout the season.
This is just great stuff. Everyone's on their feet. I mean, it does not get any better than this. 7.3 seconds, 1-point game, a chance to go to the dance. UC Davis for the first time. Irvine, second time in 3 years, and this senior class went there as sophomores. Lost to Louisville by 2. Louisville went on to lose in the Elite 8. This is outstanding.
They are checking at the scorers table, and they'll get things back underway. Darius Graham is going to be passing it in for UC Davis. Over 400 career assists, top 5 in Aggie history.
Well, one thing important to remember, Sam, is you can run the baseline after a made basket. And that is an easier way to get the ball inbounds in a big-time motion time like this.
Get it into Brent Lamar, double-teamed and fouled. 5.8 seconds left on the clock.
Excellent job by Graham. Just taking a couple of steps along the baseline. Jim Les knows that creates a better angle, and why not get the ball to Brenton Lamar? He's overflowing with confidence this evening.
So Lamar will shoot 2, and UC Davis still with fouls to give. They only got 5 team fouls in the second half. $19 points for Brenton Lamar tonight.
And that first shot from the foul line is so hard, Sam. Trust me, I know. I've been in that position. But once you knock it down, waits relief, and now it's time to nothing but net the second.
3-point game. 5 seconds. And a timeout taken by UC Irvine with 2.2 to go. That is their final timeout.
You can't blame Russ Turner for making that call. The decision is, do you let him play with 5.5 seconds or rush it up and call a timeout? They just drew up an outstanding 3-point play, so it's time to go to the second play that they've been working on all season long with 2.2 seconds left to see if they can tie this ball game up.
Last night we had a buzzer beater here at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Chima Monecki in the semifinal against Cal State Fullerton in overtime.
Monecki went from being on the outside to the inside position on the rebounding, the offensive putback, and they're on to the finals.
He said one more, that would be tonight. And they need one more defensive stop. But Luke Nelson on the other side hit a 3 on the last possession. We'll see if he can get this game to overtime.
Well, if I'm UC Davis, you know the ball is going to go to Luke Nelson. Switch on all screens because UC Irvine is getting the play drawn up to get the ball to Nelson. So if you switch on the screen, Sam, you're not looking for the screener because that's not what the coach told you. They put 0.4 of a second more on the clock, 2.6 seconds. Switch everything. Don't let number 10 touch the ball.
Spencer Rivers son of Clippers head coach Doc Rivers, will inbound. They give to Demokopoulos, knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with UC Irvine, but the clock is now under a second.
You, me, everyone in the arena, a little surprised with the big Greek touching the ball on that one. I just don't think they'd let the play fully run itself out. 9/10 of a second is plenty of time, Sam, for a catch and shoot.
Nelson, number 10, bottom of your screen. They go over the top, tip by Graham, clock expires, and for the first time in school history, Davis is dancing.
This team has bought into Jim Les, Sam. Hard work, discipline, defense wins ball games, and the Aggies are going to the big dance for the first time. Outstanding.
The band is out on the court, and the Aggies have punched their ticket into the NCAA tournament. Chima Monecki, double-doubles all tournament long, didn't quite get there tonight, but he made the plays for that man, Jim Les, and UC Davis is going into the madness.
Well, he's just acknowledging the fans, all the supporters that he has. It's just years and years of sacrifice getting to this point, and all about Brenton Lamar. Just getting it done, knocking down those 2 free throws to secure at worst and overtime as Jim Les now comes across the court. Smiles everywhere.
Let's go!
The Aggies celebrating on the floor. They get the defensive stop they needed. And Darius Graham, another senior for the Aggies, getting that tip and forcing the time to expire. UC Davis. They will move on to the NCAA tournament. Again, the first time in the history of Aggie basketball. UC Davis head coach Jim Les joining us here courtside. Sam Farber, former Villanova great Mark Plansky, and a former Bradley great in between us. But Coach, for the first time, UC Davis is dancing. How does it feel to get your team in the March Madness?
It's unbelievable. I'm not sure what to say. Emotions are running high. I've got so much respect for these young men who they work so hard every day. They want to be coached. They just gave our staff everything that we asked for, and they deserve this more than anybody. I'm so excited for them.
How much of the first half was just nerves coming out of the locker room in such a big game for these young men?
Well, there's no question. I thought both teams struggled handling the ball, shooting the ball, but we've made our mark all year with our defense. We've got good athleticism, and we thought we could disrupt everybody's rhythm on the offensive end, and that's what this group did. Their defense kept them in the game, got us a little lead till we can get a little flow going. And Brenton Lamar, I'll tell you what, if I had everything riding on him, I'm putting the ball in his hands and put him at the line, put him going to the basket, put him taking a big shot. He comes through and he loves the moment.
Coach Les, 1 week ago, you played UC Irvine for a conference championship and lost by 30. What changed in the last week to get yourselves to win a championship
That was
game?
the big setup. We just wanted them to get overconfident. We just didn't let anybody in on our secret. Well, we challenged our guys. Our guys were really down after that game and just felt like they didn't put their best foot forward. And we just talked about, hey, we can't make up what happened at Irvine, till we get back to Irvine. We got to take care of Cal Poly. We got to take care of Fullerton. And then tonight was their opportunity to kind of show and earn their respect because they felt they didn't show up the other night at Irvine.
How excited are you to collect this team tonight, celebrate a little bit, and then on Sunday, sit and watch the TV on Selection Show Sunday when UC Davis shows itself on the screen.
Davis, we're coming home. Get ready. We're going to have a little watch party because we're getting our bid.
There's some tears of joy on the court. All smiles here courtside. Coach Les, congratulations. You got the Aggies into the tournament.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Your final score, 50-47. UC Davis defeating UC Irvine. They will go into the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. For Mark Plansky and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Sam Farber saying it has been a pleasure and a privilege bringing you this outstanding game here tonight. Coming up next on ESPN2, E60 Pitchers, penny saved. The Aggies are dancing for the first time.